Striking moments from breakup with a nice guy. I need to scream into the void for a minute. Backstory. I dated for a year a guy who seemed genuinely progressive. Said all the right things, did all the right things, helped around the house without prompting. Very thoughtful. Did things like brave his cat allergies to help me take my 3 pets to the vet. Affectionate, really valued quality time together, constantly surprising me with gifts. I wound up ending it about a year in with really no inkling that he was hiding, at a minimum, deep ambivalence around gender issues. At the time of the breakup, my issues with him were mostly that he was too passive, and I felt like I was just firing on more cylinders than him in every area of life, and like I didn't have an equal. In terms of gender equality, the worst thing I could say of him was that he seemed at times slightly ignorant of the severity of issues facing women and how they manifest in our lives, but not beyond the level I'd expect for someone who just literally hasn't had those life experiences. We live in a liberal area, and my friend group tends to be even more left-leaning than this city at large, and he appeared to fit in just fine with those values and my worldview. Long story short, I ended it with him, and in the course of the breakup, he started spiraling. Mutual acquaintances told me that he revealed a very ugly side of himself, not only in things he said about me, but just straight-up misogyny. He violated my boundaries after the breakup by contacting me when it was unwelcome, and revealed deep ambivalence about reproductive rights. He knew I wanted to leave the country over Roe v. Wade being overturned, and when we were together literally looked me in the eyes and participated in planning, even visiting a potential destination country with me at one point to evaluate it for this reason. At some point of him still reaching out to me, I finally just told him all the stuff I'd found out and that I would never be in his life again. In response to me putting my cards on the table, including screenshots of his exact words, he wrote me this unhinged apology letter that was basically just word salad, excusing himself from any wrongdoing with the rationale, "That's not who I am." But no concrete explanation for his behavior, no real apologies. This absolutely bananas letter included some lines that I can't stop thinking about. Like, "I lie, you lie, everybody lies. Your pain, my pain, who's the focus? What about our pain? Are you kidding me?" I still can't stop thinking about someone sitting down, typing that out, and thinking it was reasonable to send. Even more chilling. In the end, I think it doesn't matter anyway, because there was too much of a gap in trust and too many cuts for you to view me in anything other than that light. I don't think anyone could stand up to that level of scrutiny and unhindered free interpretation. He's telling me that I am selfish if I feel pain over his actions instead of pain on his behalf too, and literally saying that I am being unfair by having free thought. I find it stunning that as a refutation of having gender bias, he wrote an 8-page letter accusing me of being cold for not doing more emotional labor on behalf of his hurt feelings and being caught being a POS, while also telling me it isn't reasonable for me to have free thought. This letter was so long, I'll do you a favor by just paraphrasing, but another incredible element of it was recurring logic that his offensive remarks were just emotional off-the-cuff talk and should be forgiven for that reason. In contrast, he painted my emotion/disgust at his sexist remarks as me being someone with trust issues that blinded me to who he really is. It seems like he genuinely thought he could argue that his words should be taken non-literally to mean whatever he says they mean after the fact. I wouldn't say I'm cynical, but I **** on the lookout for hints of this attitude when I get into relationships. I know men are socialized to devalue their female partners, and I am truly happy enough to be alone versus be disrespected. I'm at a loss with this one though. Until he was under acute stress, the mask really didn't slip that I can recall. He appeared to own his role in past failed relationships, didn't ever talk with gendered disrespect about women he had conflict with. None of his male friends seemed to have toxic attitudes, and he had plenty of progressive female friends, which I consider a green flag. I'm really still in shock that this was underneath. I don't really have a point to this rant, but I guess, yeah. I'm still just churning through all the shock and somewhat in disbelief at those lines of his apology specifically, and how horrifyingly revealing they were.